Ghislaine Maxwell has been living in the lap of luxury at a minimum security prison thanks to President Donald Trump agreeing to move her to said minimum security prison. And now we're learning even more about just how cushy her lifestyle is in this facility, because it turns out that a prison employee has become a whistleblower. Now, this individual no longer works at the prison, but the convicted child sex trafficker, Ghislaine Maxwell, is in fact enjoying special treatment, even in the context of this prison. So compared to others in the prison, she is getting additional special treatment. She recruited underage girls for rape, and sometimes she engaged in that rape herself. This administration is full to the brim with monsters, okay? The fact that this isn't one of the biggest scandals in the country blows me away and gives you a sense of how little our political leadership cares about us. So let's get into what we know about the whistleblower and what the whistleblower had to say. Her name, this hero, is Noella Turnage, former employee of the prison where Maxwell is being held, federal prison camp Bryan. And she was fired after she shared some of Maxwell's emails with her brother. So here's what Ghislaine Maxwell wrote to her brother. This is one of the emails that got leaked. The food at this prison, minimum security facility, the food is legions better. The place is clean. The staff is responsive and polite. I feel like I have dropped through Alice in Wonderland's looking glass. I am much happier here and more importantly, safe. Oh, I'm glad that, Ghislaine Maxwell is concerned about her own safety. She wasn't really worried about the safety of underage girls that she was recruiting to get raped by gross, gnarly, wealthy men, right? And herself as well. She had to partake sometimes. So let's take a look at the next video, because Noella worked in the mailroom where she handled the mail, reviewed emails, and also screened phone calls. Take a look.
What were some of the things that stood out to you from the emails, exchanges that you read?
The two main things for me were the visit that was arranged for her, because what wasn't very highly publicized about that was the lengths they went to provide a private visit for Maxwell actually caused visitation to be shut down for the rest of the inmates that weekend. They were not able to see their families that Saturday to make way for Maxwell to see her visitors. There was also the warden's personal handling of her mail, which may not sound like a big deal to some people, but the other inmates in that prison, Aaron, they have a hard time getting out their regular mail, much less anything needed for court filings and things such as that. So for them to go out of the way to make sure that Maxwell had that opportunity was pretty disgusting to me.
It sure is disgusting, Noella. It sure is disgusting. So thank you for blowing the whistle on this, because the American people should know what Trump did. Trump did this. Trump did this. So even if Trump doesn't end up pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, which, by the way, is still possible, and it's unbelievable and unacceptable that it's still possible. But even if he doesn't do that, she is having a great time at this minimum security facility and getting extra perks compared to the other inmates when she's a rapist. She raped underage girls. I just, all right. So federal prison camp Bryan is already, as you can tell, pretty chill, right? Minimum security. It houses about 630 inmates, but Maxwell receives special treatment in so many different ways. And if you're wondering, well, what is it other than what we just heard Noella explain? Well, she gets bottled water and clamshell meals delivered to her room. I don't know what clamshell meals are. I'm not in prison and I don't know what that is. Can you look that up for me, Alyssa? What is clamshell meals? What does that mean? Exclusive high security visitations for her family. Direct contact and access to the warden. Expedited mail, as you just heard, from her family. And there's more. So let's take a quick look at the next video.
To an email that you shared with us from Maxwell to her brother, which gave details about his upcoming visit to her, in which she writes, quote, "I believe they will provide some water, coffee, and snack. You will not go without anything after flying all the way from the UK. Also, you will arrive at the front like everyone else, but there will be a cordoned-off area for you. Only you will go there. They will be waiting for you from 8 a.m. Now, Noella, you worked at that prison for over 6 years. You were a nurse before you were moved to your role in the mailroom, and you were monitoring phone calls and emails at that. But you've had many roles in the prison. Were other inmates, visitors provided, areas like this, drinks, snacks, all of the things she describes here?
Oh, absolutely not. The only option the other inmates or their visitors had were the overpriced vending machines and visitation. They weren't given anything.
Okay. I still don't know what clamshell meals are. So take this with a grain of salt because it's AI and I don't trust AI. But it says clamshell meals typically refer to takeaway food packaged in a one-piece hinged container, often used for burgers, salads, or they can refer to clams, casino, stuffed pasta shells. Whatever. She doesn't deserve it. Okay. Like the whole point of being in prison, especially for something as serious as raping children, is so you have a bad time, not so you have a good time. Okay. You shouldn't be getting clamshell anything. What is this? The injustice makes me sick. And as a reminder, after Maxwell gave testimony to acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, that's when she was transferred over to this minimum security facility. I wonder why that is. I remember the outcome of that meeting was that Trump definitely didn't do anything wrong and he's definitely not in the Epstein files. Right. In her testimony, she did claim that Trump never saw Epstein sexually abusing children. Is that true, or is that just something she was willing to say to be transferred to a minimum security facility? Inquiring minds want to know.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.